Welcome back. This is Rise and Shine, and we are live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, having brought you several conversations of things happening in the country. Of course, we looked at certain issues raised on the front pages of our national dailies, and Nigerians had the floor to give us their thoughts on certain issues. At this point, we'll be moving straight into our focus conversation, and we'll be looking at the just concluded 25th February election for the Labour Party, how it affected them, and how it's going to trickle down into the gubernatorial elections that will now be holding on the 18th of March. How is it going to be for the Labour Party here in Akwa Ibom State? And we have members of the Presidential Campaign Council for Obi Dati here on set with us. We have Captain Augustine Okon, who is the state coordinator of Obi Dati PCC. Good morning. Good to have you on the show, sir.
Good morning. Yeah.
We also have here with us the director admin Obi Dati Presidential Campaign Council, Engineer Pius Ibom. Good to have you on the show, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome. Okay, so big day for Nigerians as we keep pressing forward for the gubernatorial elections, which have now been shifted to the 18th of March. So let's talk a little bit. What are your expectations for the gubernatorial seat in Akwa Ibom State? And I will not forget to say, it looks like we finally had a gubernatorial candidate almost last minute, because I think Udrak Peter wasn't there in the race very early on, but people began to pick up tickets somewhere in the middle of all of the campaigns. Okay, so Captain, you can take that.
Yes, gubernatorial candidate came in fairly late in the game, but we're happy to have him because we're looking for a good candidate, and in him we have a very good and solid candidate who can be governor of Akwa Ibom State, and we'll do everything to make sure he is governor of Akwa Ibom State because he has the correct characteristics of what we have been shopping for. And so we're doing everything to make sure we also know that he has all the characters of the Obidati, an obedient trait, and so he will turn around Akwa Ibom, and so we're selling him to the people of Akwa Ibom State and say, you have a good material. Somebody who looks like Obi, acts like Obi, and will turn the state of Akwa Ibom to be a modern state.
So when we're talking characteristics, of what you were looking for, what exactly was the Labour Party in Akwa Ibom State shopping for that has now been found in Udra Peter?
Yeah, we're shopping for somebody who's young, who's not tainted with the corruption of Nigerian politics, and who has a clear vision, and whose vision is congruent to that of our principal, His Excellency Peter Obi, and who is able to mix with the people of Akwa Ibom, and without having airs, and who's a village boy and can relate with the people, a real Akwa Ibomite. And he was born here, he grew up here, he went to school here, though he does have a big world view, and we're pretty sure we'll follow the footsteps of what Mr. Peter Obi did in Anambra State. He will replicate that in Akwa Ibom, and that's what we have been looking for, and we have it in him. We are very happy to present him to the people of Akwa Ibom State and say, this is a young man, he's only 43 years old. In terms of Nigerian politics, that's pretty young for a governor. And so we are pretty sure that he will do a very good job as governor of Akwa Ibom State. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to come back to this particular line of thought where you say that Udwa Obong Peters is more like an obedient person, and that's why you brought him forward. Let's even come back to the presidential elections that just happened. I know that you organized a press conference to address the press concerning your way forward in terms of the presidential elections. For you thought that Akwa Ibom State was robbed of their votes. Can you just talk about this a little bit more?
Yeah, especially the metropolitan and urban areas. You could see during the actual vote counting that we scored very highly. Every place was obedient. And in the outcome of the election, finally, that was posted by INEC, it puts us in the 3rd place. I mean, you can see the people of Akwa Ibom are not happy. They are angry that the votes, what they voted for has not translated to what they see posted by INEC. And that's why we are not happy with the elections, and we want something to be done to.
So aside from just saying that the people of Akwa Ibom State are not happy about the result, do we have evidences to prove
we do
that
have evidence, yeah.
that you know, Akwa Ibom actually voted for the Labour Party and the Labour Party won in Akwa Ibom State?
Yes, we do have, and our legal team have been looking at it and packaging it onwards to. We will add that up to what we have at the national level to make a case for Mr. Peter Obi.
Okay, let me talk to Mr. Ibom now. One of the issues that we had during the presidential elections, if you can remember, it was something we talked about a lot here, that Labour Party did not have, polling agents in the different polling units. So if we had this polling agents, I think they would have gone a long way in defending whatever results were at the polling unit. But we didn't see that happen for Labour Party, and a lot of people were wondering why. Why didn't Labour? Is it that they were not prepared for the presidential elections?
The Labour Party was quite prepared for the presidential election, and the Labour Party ensured that the same in the names in the list of 4,553 agents representing the number of units in Akwa Ibom State. And the Labour Party expected INEC to have issued same number of tags so that all our agents will officially be recognized at the polling unit by the INEC officials. But unfortunately, 2 days to the time, INEC only issued a little bit above 1,000 tags. Whether that was deliberate or not, it's left for Nigerians to
now
decide.
That's for Akwa Ibom State.
For Akwa Ibom, yes.
But beyond Akwa Ibom State, some other parts of the country did not have Labour Party agents. So we're not just talking about Akwa Ibom State.
I wouldn't know what happened there because I wasn't there. I'm talking about what happened in Akwa Ibom State that I was part of.
Was there a plan nationally to make sure that there were agents? Yeah.
For every polling unit, we had about 1,700 and something polling units across the country.
That's exactly what we are talking about. Why would Labour Party not be given enough tax to go around all the polling units? But that notwithstanding, Labour Party appropriately mobilized what we call the volunteers, the unit defenders, and these were the people that were acting as agents. Some of the original result that we have prepared and given to our legal team was brought forward by these unit defenders. But the fact was that since they were not given tag, they were not officially recognized. But
or
they
allowed
did the
to
job,
go into
or allowed to go into
collation centers.
Collation centers, some sensitive units. I personally went around and I know what happened. So this is the reason that we are saying that something went wrong somewhere. The result that was eventually posted and which is still being contested now is not the actual result.
Okay, serious concerns there actually. But again, let's even still review the presidential election. We are going into the gubernatorial elections and you have a candidate at the dying minute now. How do you think that, some of the things, the issues that have been raised, that plagued the presidential elections, how do you think this will affect, your gubernatorial candidate going forward? It's even good that INEC has, shifted the elections to next week, Saturday rather.
Yeah, we are preparing, and we have actually invited INEC again to review some. We have now agents which we are showing to the whole world, and we've done training for them. And so, if they don't give them enough tax this time, you too will see and know that. See, these guys prepared. They presented the agents who had, and now. We would like all those agents to be accredited for the elections.
Okay, I think another place I want us to even come back to. I was looking at a particular man that won an election. He's trending on Twitter right now. He's an Okada man, you know, that won the Senate seat in Kaduna under the Labour Party. Now, this is happening because so many people won elections, whether we want to believe it or not, but so many people won elections under the Labour Party because of the significant role that Peter Obi is playing and the fact that he is the major party, flag flyer for the Labour Party. So we have a lot of people winning on the back of Peter Obi now. But coming back to your candidate, it's not enough to say that, you know, because he's in Labour Party, let Akwa Ibomites go and vote for him. What stands him out? What makes him different from every other politician that will come and tell us stories and not, you know, keep to their promises?
Have you talked to him?
Yes, I think I've had conversations with him before.
Now, and you must have found out that he's a very intelligent man, and that he has a vision for Akwa Ibomites, and that vision is in line with what Peter Obi has, and he will translate that into Akwa Ibom State. You know, when we're looking at a man, we want somebody who is not tainted with corruption, who is not bringing in what he has learned in the, you know, in the other parties they're talking about structure of corruption. We don't want somebody carrying that burden of structure of corruption into our party. We want somebody who's clean, who will unlearn quickly if he had any baggage, unlearn and keep that behind, and now take on easily the new philosophy that is propounded by Peter Obi on governance: small, lean government, people-oriented government, and cutting back on consumption, and then directing the country or the state in a path of growth, creating employment, youth employment, women empowerment. Those are the kind of things that Mr. Duabon Peters has will come up with as governor of Akwa Ibom State. Yeah.
Okay, so something that we know that, you know, is particular with the Labour Party is the street credibility and street acceptance that His Excellency Peter Obi has. Now, when you say that, you know, people need to ride on the wings of that, you also need to look at someone who is able to garner such influence for himself in the state, because we're just talking about Badegbo Roads for Lagos State. He seems to have that influence of his own accord, and putting it together with, you know, the principal at the helms, it seems to be working. But when we bring it down to Udrak, you know, in Akwa Ibom State, does he have that street acceptance, and is he well known on the street? Because I think, like we've had conversations this morning, some Nigerians called, we are going beyond party politics, but then the faces that are coming out need to be recognizable by the people of the state.
Yes, he does. And like the day Her Excellency came here to work with us to campaign, the 9 days of the...
That's the wife of Uduaghan, Peter?
No.
Okay.
The wife of our principal.
Okay.
And Peter was there. You could see how because he first came out and he was recognized by everybody. He's a homeboy of this of Akwa Ibom, of Uyo. He comes from Uyo town itself. So he has that acceptance. People just rushed up Udwabon and said, okay, look, this is not about Udwabon, this is about Her Excellency. So we had to let him sit down and let Her Excellency come up. I'm trying to say that, yes, he's well known in the city, he's really accepted, he walks in the city, I mean, on the sidewalks, and he's a simple man, as simple as our principal. And I don't see him trying to change him because he's now governor and he'll now become governor and want to pull airs. No. He is a homegrown Uyo boy, and he exhibits all the traits, and will learn more of the traits of our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, and he already has acceptance in his home place, and I'm pretty sure he will do well as governor.
So it sounds more like we are trying to really have a lot of replication of Peter Obi across
Yes,
board.
yeah,
It's not
copies
just,
of him.
yeah,
And this
it
one
sounds
is a
like
very
that's a thing
So
from
I
the
mean,
Labour Party.
I seriously think I would like to defer. Peter
Yeah.
Obi is a man of his own caliber, right? So a lot of people shouldn't also believe that just because I am coming on the wings of the Labour Party, that the same acceptability that Peter Obi is garnering from Nigerians will be the same acceptability that everybody flying the Labour
Party
Party
flag.
flag will be enjoying.
It's not exactly like that, Janice.
Okay.
You see, Peter Obi is a man of exceptional quality, but he's not the only one. He's not the only one. There are so many people who are like him, and I will tell you that there are people who were not interested in politics before because politics did not resonate with them previously. But now, when somebody like Peter Obi comes up, people of like minds of Peter Obi begins to come up. And these are the people who have the future of Nigeria at heart. You know, you will see that, you know, the present crop of politicians like me, I wasn't a politician about a year ago. No, I wasn't. But because of what I have seen now, I have come into this. And I know because I want things to be done right in Nigeria. And as I'm sitting so, I have had so many overtures from big names. Maybe because of the past 3 months or so, you know, I have made so many television appearances. I have made many public speeches. So those old politicians look at me as somebody who has a structure now, who is influential. So they reach out to me. As late as yesterday, I had a call from a big name here. He said, oh, please, Engineer Pius, please, we want to see you. And I asked him, who are you? He said, you know. Immediately I know where they come from. I said, no, sorry, sir. You can't buy me. At my age, I should not be thinking about myself only. I'm thinking about my children, thinking about the future of my grandchildren in this country. So when somebody like Peter Obi comes up, people of like mind also spring up. And Ura, our governor to be, is such a person. If you interact with him more, you will know the problem of Akwa Ibom is his own problem now. He has left his business for the past months and he's concentrating on, he sleeps Akwa Ibom, he wakes up Akwa Ibom, he eats Akwa Ibom, he's looking for how to turn Akwa Ibom around.
I seriously wish he was the one sitting here for us to talk directly with him. But again, maybe you two will make that work out because I know that we've made overtures for him to be on live set here with us. But again, he has also promised that, you know, he's going to work and, how did he even put it? He's going to tackle poverty if elected, you know, as governor of Akwa Ibom State. How does he intend to do that? We know that Akwa Ibom is predominantly a civil service state.
And that it doesn't have to be so.
It doesn't have to be so.
It doesn't have to be so. So when I see politicians come and say, oh, we are going to tackle poverty, how exactly are you going to tackle poverty?
It's very simple. As we are sitting so, I have prepared a program for him. It is called Basic Industries Development Program. Basic Industries Development Program. And what that means is focusing on the basic thing that needs to be done by government so that industries will spring up. I am an engineer. I am a metallurgical engineer. I was trained to work in a Jakarta Steel Company. And let me tell you, a Jakarta Steel Complex is not just an industry. A Jakarta Steel Complex has 37 industries put in one place. Now, if those industries begin to work, you will see the multiplier effect. So this is the kind of mind that, you know, we are coming in with. By the time you make industries to spring up, Akwa Ibom will it automatically move from being a civil service state to an industrial, and we have the potential. I don't need to go into that. We have the potential, even more than any other state. As we are talking, so we are sitting on what I call the minefield of Akwa Ibom. The potentials in mining. You know, we know the potential in agriculture and so many other things. But little do we know that we are sitting on a minefield, that we could mine something that is called rare earth metal, which is it's #1 in the world. You know, so these are the kind of things that he will begin to look into. It may take some time, but eventually, if we get it right, Akwa Ibom State will turn from being a civil service state to a fully industrialized commercial state.
Okay, so
Okay, I think Captain wants to add something.
And it also has to do with education and skill sets. Here, our education is wishy-washy. It's not up to speed. We have to train our people to have a proper education, able to speak, read, and write in any language, whether it's English or BBO, whatever. What you see on our streets, have you ever tried to hire a driver the other day and interviewed? I was very sad with the output because people are not educated. His first challenge will be to make sure people are educated
As
and
a computer scientist?
retrained. Well, we will take education as a major challenge, just like Peter did in Anambra State. Raise the quality and standard of education from whatever we are at the bottom of the scale, come very close to number one and aim for the number one position. With that, now you have a pool of people whom you can give skills. When they are properly trained with skills, then they can be useful in industry. We've built some good roads, but the good roads are going to nowhere. We now have to make roads that are leading to production centers. We have to create those production centers in different parts of the state so that these beautiful roads that the last two administrations have done will be leading somewhere to production centers. Civil service is not a way of life. I mean, it's not a part of our economic regenerating system. So look at even our waterways. Look at the number. Akwa Ibom is about number one in oil producer in Nigeria, contributing to the oil we produce. Now, how many Akwa Ibomites are working in the oil industry? We have to look at that area, give them skills that they can work in an industry that is sustaining Nigeria. You see every Tuesday or Wednesday in Bonny, you see crew change. People are coming to work in Akwa Ibom. We are not aware of them because they're offshore. Now, we're creating the industrial base, making things like jetties available in Akwa Ibom, so that Akwa Ibom people, you see, what's happening is that Akwa Ibom people don't even know some of the things that are happening on Akwa Ibom waters. So if we have a proper jetty that will be taking off from here and leading into the offshore, the rigs offshore, then we can begin to participate in the industrial base of Akwa Ibom. Leave the oil industry alone. Come back to the air industry. We have we built a beautiful airport with our own money. We've built a beautiful MRO with our state money. Now we have to make that available to the whole country so that aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul will begin to happen in Akwa Ibom. We need to train people with the relevant aviation skills that will be able to participate in aircraft maintenance, in all the other things that will happen. We're building a new international airport, but do we have the skills to manage a cargo base? Those are the things we must look at. That as we are building the industrial base, we also look at the education sector first, and then the skills and the industries that will make it. So I'm pretty sure he's looking at all of those.
All right. So I think something I pick out in all of this that, Captain Ibong is saying is a sense of continuity of government. Although, there are other administrations from other parties that have done certain works, there seems to be a plan of continuity in governance from the Labour Party. So it's not just like, PDP have done what they have done. We want to, create a fresh path. And I think that is highly commendable. You're talking about the fact that we have seen the roads, but we need to make the road to lead to somewhere. And that's commendable. But on the heels of continuity of governance, like Janice earlier said, we have a lot of people springing into positions because of the influence of Peter Obi. Now, if you can speak for the credibility of Udoa Bompita, let's talk about people that are, getting elected into state houses of assembly, people who got seats at the National Assembly. Mr. Bon, how were you able to evaluate all of these people that got tickets, some of which were free, because even like the man in Kaduna got a free ticket on the platform of the Labour Party. What is the guarantee that people that have gotten elected into offices, whether by sheer benevolence of their own influence or riding on the wings of Peter B, what is the guarantee that these people will make Labour Party proud in Akwa Ibom and nationally?
You see, it is general knowledge that initially Labour Party did not have, let me put it, competent aspirants. Most of the people that came up there were just like probably placeholders, because nobody was interested in Labour Party. But along the line, when Labour Party now came up, when our principal now came up, there was like this moment of silence. Now during that time, Labour Party was doing real sorting. Labour Party was doing real recruitment. So if you check, most of the people that appeared on INEC website as candidates, most of them have been dropped, because as I said, most of them were just like placeholders. And that is also the reason why our governorship candidate, took some time before he emerged. He is not the first person that was on the website of yes, on the list of INEC. And that is what the some opposition party people are latching on to say, oh, his name is not there, his name is not there. He had to go through the due process, the court process, in order to be replaced, so, and he obtained a court order that he should be the duly,
recognized.
Yes, recognized candidate for this position. So what I'm saying is that there were sortings, and we make sure that we, as much as we can, replace people who were placeholders with people who are actually capable, who have the right characteristics. So it's not just anyhow person.
Okay,
but one thing we have to also know is that, you see, these people, whether they were known or unknown quantities, but as far as they are holding on to the trend, it's just like you being on a skater, and then you hold on to, a moving vehicle. Wherever that vehicle goes, you will arrive there.
Engineer Bong, our time is up, but very importantly, please, I would like us to address this before we wrap up very quickly. There's been allegations here in Akwa Ibom State that there is a plan, for the Labour Party candidate to negotiate his ticket with the People's Democratic Party, more like an alliance, collapsing of structure, and joining the People's Democratic Party. Quickly now, let's just address that.
That is
in
not
the next
correct.
Few seconds.
Our candidate is going to stand elections, and those people are disgruntled elements who have, the obedient system has taken people from all over. They are obedient. But now, after the presidential, some of them are returning to their home parties and want to drag obedience there. We have our own candidate, and we're standing by our candidate. Okay. They can go back to their own vomit, where they left and came to, and go back. So we are not... we wish them good luck where they are going back to their old parties, but obedient, the true obedient. In fact, we are calling a meeting of all true obedience who believe in Peter Obi and in whatever he stands for. Peter stands for a certain set of things, and he stands for for himself and for all candidates of the Labour Party, and we stand by him. So we support all the candidates of the Labour Party that are running on this ticket.
All right, thank you so much.
So there are no expected alliances between Udoa Bompita
and
the Labour
not
Party
with the
and
YPP, not with PDP,
right,
as they have put.
Okay,
they
so
can run their
clear.
election on their own. We are running our election on our own.
That's very clear. It was good that we handle that. So we want to say a very big thank you to you, Captain, for coming on the show this morning. Also want to say a very big thank you to you, Saibong, for coming on the show this morning. Of course, great conversation there to know how you are getting prepared for the gubernatorial elections come March 18. But that's definitely all that we can take on today's show. It's been great time with everyone all over the country this morning. Thank you to everyone who called on the show. We absolutely appreciate your time on Rise and Shine. My name is Uyai Anek, and let's do this again tomorrow.
And definitely we will do this again tomorrow, which is a Friday. My name is Janice Cobham. We hand you over now to Sports Central for with Blyden Ukem and Isaac on that one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.